Well, let's get some more reaction now to the Harry and Meghan interview. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have made a series of serious claims, with Harry saying that Prince Charles had at one point stopped taking his calls and alleged that he'd been trapped in the royal system. The couple also discussed racism, with Harry saying it hurt that his family did not speak out against articles with colonial undertones written about his wife. Well, joining me now is Dean Stott, who is a friend of Prince Harry. Great to talk to you, Dean. Why do you think Prince Harry wanted to do this interview?
I think obviously up until now there's been a lot of hearsay, what we're reading in the media. It's an opportunity for them to give, dispel any sort of hearsay with fact, the real reasons why they decided to step back or, had to step back. And also, the 12-month transition period is now over. And it was them obviously almost having a baseline. No, this is where we are now. This is our decision up until now and why we've made those decisions. And this is what we're doing moving forward.
What did you think of the interview itself? Did you see your friend there? Was Harry very much being himself?
Yeah, he was. I thought it was powerful. It was honest. Sometimes uncomfortable, but obviously, like the James Corden interview, it humanised the couple. The James Corden interview I thought was great because that was the Harry that I knew. Very humorous, and here he was. He had his heart on his sleeve. Yeah, it was difficult to watch at times, but I obviously understand why they've done what they've done.
Had he shared any of his concerns with you? Some of the things they raised, his relationship with his dad, questions over Archie's skin colour, Meghan's mental health?
There was a lot of stuff there. There's some stuff I knew already, and there's some stuff I wasn't aware of. It was very, like I said, it was very uncomfortable to hear some of them, especially, you talk about the race element, but, Meghan, voicing her mental health problems and reaching out for help, and there's no help there. I raised £900,000 for the Royal Foundation for one of their mental health campaigns, so I know that they're aware of it and how important it is. And when someone from their own household can't get assistance, that was really difficult for me to hear.
Why do you think that is? Because, as you say, they have done so much to raise awareness of mental health issues and have done so much to speak publicly on it.
I think from this interview, what I got, there's a big distinction between the royal family and the institution. Meghan and Harry are very respectful for the royal family, talk very highly of the Queen and other members of the family. But when it came to the institution, it seemed like, when Harry mentioned that their family are trapped, it sounds to me that there's no voice there from the royal family.
Do you think he did the right thing, removing himself from what he clearly saw as a very toxic situation and taking the ultimate step and leaving the country altogether?
Yeah, well, he talks about in the interview that there was no protection and no security. I mean, later on in the interview, he talks about the parallels between, his mother and Meghan. So, he saw history repeating itself, and he doesn't want to be following another coffin. So he took action, and obviously this is what they've done.
I mean, do you really think that lives were in danger? Because it's not the royal family who are in charge of security and protection, is it? It's the Metropolitan Police. It's not the royal family's call, for a start.
It's not their call, but when you're in line to the throne, and obviously be aware that Harry has also served in Afghanistan, so the threat to him is very different from that of the other members of the family. Just being part of that family, there is a threat, there is a security risk. Now, I'm a security consultant myself, and then that family, very much high risk at all times. And so to not have the support or the security from the Metropolitan Police, he's now had to fund that himself.
Was that was a real source of concern for him, was it, whilst he was still living in the UK?
Not so much in the UK, but when he was stepping back, at all when he went to Canada, that his security got taken from him. And for Harry, he mentions in the interview that all he wanted to do is be able to support his family and be able to fund that security.
Do you think he will ever come back to the UK to live?
To live, I don't know, but definitely to come back to the UK. He's a soldier first, as Prince said. And he always talks about his service, and they didn't get stripped. They stepped back, and they still love the Queen. They still love the Commonwealth, and they still want some sort of role within that.
But there will be some, and there are critics of the couple who will say, well, that they want their cake and also to eat it as well. They want to be able to decide what they speak about, and they want to be out in public when they want to be, but they don't want any of the negative stuff that comes with it.
I think what they've said, yes, there's always going to have your critics there. They've always said that they never said that they don't want to be in the limelight. You know, that what they're choosing is the difference between intrusion and consent when it comes to media. No, they have their own media company itself, Archewell Productions. They understand that media is a tool and a platform, especially for the Archewell Foundation. And they just obviously don't like it's journalistic integrity they're questioning.
Do you think they were right to do the interview? Is it something that you would have recommended to them to do?
I think so. I think obviously there'd been so much hearsay and so much, the media vilifying Meghan. It was an opportunity for her to say how it is. These are the facts. Before it was all white noise and second guessing what was going on. But now we've actually heard it from, as they say, the horse's mouth. Here we go.
And do you think, we understand that they've said that this is going to be their last word on the subject. I mean, do you think it will be? Do you think it should be?
I think it will be, and I think it should be. I think they've drawn a line in the sand. They've had an opportunity to, voice their side, and now it's time for them to move on.
What advice would you give him in terms of moving on and how he should be living his life now?
Obviously, I think with Meghan being 6 months pregnant, his priority now is his family. He talks at the end about how he wants to heal those relationships between his brother and his father. So I'd like to see that happen, and I'd like to see both families, both sides of the water, getting on.
I mean, how bad are those relationships, do you think? And is it possible for them to be healed?
Of course, any family, there always tend to be arguments. I do think, any sort of relationship can be healed. It's going to take time. It's going to take patience. Obviously, he now has to. His priorities are Meghan, Archie, and the up and coming baby. But hopefully, there'll be times and opportunity for him to come back and sort of rebuild those relationships.
Dean Stott, friend of Prince Harry, great to talk to you today. Thanks a lot for joining us and staying up so late, or getting up so early anyway, in Los Angeles. Thank you.